Oh no. Fuck. Another wrong turn. We're back, and today I'm out on the giant boulder. Now I'm out at Uwamatic Dam and I'm about to crack on with a loop here. I've never used the map function on Strava before, and as I rode in, it gave me the option to start on one of the routes here. So I clicked yes, started riding, got about 2 minutes in, and then realized that I was 10 seconds up on the KOM. So I've looped back to the start, and I'm gonna throw on maps. I'll throw the GoPro on the front of the bike, and I think the segment is like 16 Ks or something, so not very long. I'm just gonna hit it first time, try and figure my way through this, and yeah, we'll see how we go. So the bike that I'm on, as with most, when I got it, it wasn't in the best rideable state. So let's jump back over to the workshop and we'll see how it started out. So as you see at the start of the video, we're out on the giant boulder. I think that's pretty much the only bike that really fits me properly out of all of these bikes that I have to do. I did miss an upload last week, and I think that is the first week that I've actually missed uploading a video since I've started doing these bike flips. But it definitely hasn't been because I didn't have a bike to flip. Over the last week, I've sold 5 bikes, and I think I have, with these ones that are in front of me now, there's like another 9 that I'll have ready basically as soon as these ones are finished to sell. There's a couple that are listed. There's 2 that are being checked out tomorrow. I've just been acquiring bikes and parts, and this garage has turned into an absolute pigsty. There is just junk everywhere, and as much as I did try to clean it up and arrange it, the simple fact is that I just need to clear a whole bunch of bikes out. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do. I'm just about to start working my way through all of these bikes. There are some good ones, there's some junk. So the goal is to just get as much stuff listed as I can and get it out the door. There were a few bikes that I was gonna make individual videos on, but I think it is best just to start from a clean slate again, or we'll see how we go. I'll probably acquire a few more bikes before I even finish filming this video. But the main bike that will be probably riding in this video is gonna be this giant boulder here, which is in an XL size. I'm just gonna swap out the tires and the seat, probably the handlebars. I'll make it sort of suit myself, and then I'll take it for a spin. Also, what I have here is the fixie frame that I took the yellow wheels off for my mate's bike that I built up a couple of videos back. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I've actually sort of half taught myself how to build a wheel. So I've built up the front wheel for this bike. So now I have a matching set of wheels to go on this bike. I've also purchased what I thought was a good deal, which is this BMX here. And then what we have here is, it's just a piece of junk, to be honest. It was just an impulse acquisition. It was the first free thing to pop up on Marketplace after I watched Rusty the Retro's recent video where he actually recycled a heap of cans to pay for a couple of bikes, which he's flipped, and then he's gonna work his way up to something nicer. So I didn't have any cans to recycle myself, so I thought I'll just get something free off Marketplace. I'll try and put as minimal effort into it as possible, get a little bit of money, and then we'll start from there. And yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna flip up to yet, but I think that'll be its own sort of mini series, I guess. Or maybe I'll just flip bikes and I'll just keep a spreadsheet, and when the interesting ones pop up, I'll update where I'm sort of at. So I don't really know where I'm gonna start. I've actually been procrastinating starting all these bikes for the whole week, but it needs to be done. So I'm gonna crack on with it, and we'll jump back to the trail. So last week I actually broke the pin on my chain breaker and I've ordered a new one, but it hasn't come yet. So I have been using these in the meantime, but normally what I would do is get the angle grinder out and cut through this. Now I have a nice set of bolt cutters. There we go. I sort of wanted to get rid of these 25.4 clamp handlebars and put something a little bit nicer on. I got these giant handlebars there, which are 31.8 clamp and slightly wider. Now I didn't have a giant branded stem, but the Norco one that I have here only has just a tiny little shield on the top of it. So it's not really branded at all. So it's not gonna stand out, and it also still has the giant top cap. I think straight away, with the addition of the wider bars and the slimmer seat, it's gonna take it from looking like your typical dad spec bike that just gathers dust in the garage and gets brought out once a year into something that someone's actually going to look at and want to take it out for a ride. So, I mean, I'm already looking at it and keen to take it out for a ride, but you already know how that's going. So let's jump back over. Up next, we have this tiny little BMX, and it is a 20-inch, but the handlebars make it just seem extra small. So the plan was originally to use the frame and bars from the leftover parts of my own personal BMX build, but I actually sold the frame by itself this morning. So now I'm just left with this bike pretty much as it is. I'll swap out the bars, swap out the seat, and put some nice sort of plastic pedals on it. And yeah, this one will be ready to go. So up next we have the Trek Sky, and originally we bought this bike for $20 and we stripped the tires off it. They went onto the Trek that we built up a couple of videos back. Since then, it has just sat to the side. Now we're at a point where I just want to get all of the random bikes that I have laying around sort of just built up out of parts and get them out the door. So the tires that we just took off the Giant, I'm going to throw on this. I'm going to give it a good clean. Also, the seat that is on this is quite badly ripped, and yeah, it's no good. So we took the seat that was off the Giant, and it's not going to go back on there when I go to sell it. So I'm going to swap that seat onto here, put the Giant tires onto the original wheels off this bike. I'll get rid of the rack because of the rust that's on there. The only thing that I won't be able to do in this video is put the chain back on it because I'm still waiting for my chain tool to arrive in the mail. But apart from that, we'll have a cleaned up bike, and yeah, then it'll only be a 2-second job of reconnecting the chain, making sure that the gears all work fine, and it can be sold on as well. Now we're up to what I might just call the last bike of this video. If you remember back, I built up a fixed gear for one of my mates, and the wheel set come off of this bike here. Now I did have this wheel set, which originally come on my grocery getter. Now as soon as I got my grocery getter, I actually stripped this wheel bare and planned on rebuilding it, but then it just sat to the side like every other project that I seem to have, and it never got touched. Well, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I've got a truing stand now. And this here is the first wheel set that I have ever built in my life. So I'll be chucking it back on this bike, and yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it stays round for the new owner. headlight, so I can't see anything. Holy fuck. All right. That's the loop wrapped up, and not quite KOM, but we are number 2. So I did take a couple of wrong turns, and when I started the segment I was about 20 seconds behind because I'd already started and I was trying to set up the GoPro. So I don't think I'm going to make up 5 minutes entirely, but I reckon that I'm going to head back out on this bike in another couple of days and we'll give it a good solid crack and see just how much closer we can get to that number 1 spot. So I've wrapped up the ride and I've got these 3 bikes behind me listed. Now there's nothing particularly special about any of these bikes, but without me dragging them out of the shed and putting a bit of time and effort into them, they would have just been destined to be parts bikes and eventually the frames would have been scrapped. Now they're saved, they'll go on to be ridden hopefully for a little bit longer, and they should sort of fetch a total of around $300 to $400 just for these 3 bikes. So this bike here I'll keep for a little bit longer and I'm going to head out and hit that loop again, probably tomorrow morning. I might drop the results of that in the next video and it will give you guys a chance to maybe guess the time below. So for reference, the segment is 16 Ks or thereabouts, and it is relatively flat. There's a few little pinchy climbs in there. My current time is 47 minutes and 12 seconds, and the KOM time is 42 minutes and 12 seconds. So I've got 5 minutes to make up. I did make a few wrong turns on the course, so I reckon I can make up a couple of minutes there. Also, I've never ridden out at Uwamatic Dam before, so having now ridden the course, knowing that there's nothing surprising around any of the corners, I could probably hit it a little bit faster. So I don't know if I'm gonna get that KOM, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it is a cool little challenge to set myself, especially on such a cheap bike. I don't know what the guy that got the KOM was riding, but it would be cool to know that I've pretty much outlaid like $50 for this bike, and yeah, I can go and smash a segment on Strava. So yeah, leave your guesses below. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll just keep those weekly videos still rolling out. As soon as I wrap this up, I'm about to start shooting another one. So yeah, let's sort of try and batch some content and keep these videos rolling. But hopefully you enjoyed the video, and until the next one,